if after you did that to me, you to this day will just don't see it. Like, that might be convenient for you for the short term, but in the long term, that means I'm never going to work with you again. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to list out of working with you or talking with you. It's done. And it's really because on that call, I just got to a point where I'm like, oh, that's right. You ever have a phone call where you're like, I am defusing a bomb right now. I'm keeping this bomb from exploding. The bomb talks. It speaks words. I'm keeping it from exploding right now. My entire goal is to just be polite to this person, be kind, and get off the phone without giving up any critical footing. So I had a phone call today, and I partly am not even sure if I should have had the phone call. It was with someone who I felt very much wronged by on a film. We were 2 weeks away from filming it, and I had no choice. I had to fire them and replace them with someone. And what led me to make that decision, it really felt like somebody was kind of twisting my arm and strong-arming me. But I could see why it wasn't intentionally their fault. And, I tried to have a phone call with them today to discuss it and to kind of figure out, okay, as long as they understand what they did to me, that's fine. It was, and really, if I didn't replace them after, and it was things that cropped up days before or weeks before filming, the project would have not gotten done. Like, not only the project wouldn't have gotten done, it would have set me back and everything I'm kind of trying to do in life by a lot. It would have thwarted a lot of great things for a lot of good people. And, I needed this person to understand this if we were to ever work together again. And part of like why I replaced them last minute was this feeling of, I thought that they cared, and then suddenly my project was like a really crappy job to them. And no one else felt that way. No one else demonstrated that they felt that, or that this was something that they didn't care about. And then after the filming, even though it was really tough, the person felt that, no one really felt that it was like, no one regretted going, it being as difficult as it was. It was still a magical experience. So I tried to talk to this person because I wanted to be able to work with them in the future. And I feel like the phone call to some degree devolved the moment I brought up what had been done to me. And I think it was too quickly twisted into, why, Tom, why are you reaching out to call me and tell me this stuff? Why are you, like, I thought you were calling just about a new project. Yeah, I was, because I do want to work with you, but I need to be able to talk about what happened here. And I got accused of gaslighting. I was accused of attacking them. I didn't feel like I wasn't trying to do that, and I said, hey, if any of this feels like that, I apologize. That's not my intention. I just want to, I wanted to call and see if we could, see if there's still a door open to work with this person. I didn't word it that way, but that's what it was. Is I was making sure we still had a door. I wanted to see if it was still open. And I was looking to, I do want to forgive this person for what they did. And, even though the consequences of what happened, it's like, it would have been really bad. And yeah, there's definitely some feelings about that are not resolved and never have been. They haven't even been acknowledged by the person. And so this was out of the blue for them. And what surprises me is I've dealt with narcissists before. I've dealt with people who like almost the same as this. They accused me of communication issues. Like this wasn't communicated. But it's always when I have those that come up for people, that's come up before, and that's actually caused deals to collapse. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's communication issues. I think there's definitely an assumption. I go in thinking that, and I've been true, this has been true for 99% of people I work with. I can go in with kind of a loose sense of, we're aiming for the end result, and we're kind of loose in how we get there. If I'm bringing you on casting you, I don't have all the locations and everything. I'm going to find the actors before I find locations. I don't have the schedule worked out yet. And it was really, for them, it was like hours and things, which are valid. And I did accommodate those last minute, but it was more so threatening to quit the project if they didn't get a bedroom, bathroom, days before filming, which, it was like 5 things. Like they were super into this one thing, and then this other project, and then the short, and then 2 weeks before filming, suddenly they're dropping interest in anything. Like they're telling me, no, I can't do this, which is being to me saying you're super into something and then you're not wanting to do anything with it. Like you're saying, yes, let's sit down and do this thing, and then 180ing and saying no. That threw me for a loop, and maybe I was wrong to assume that when they were super interested in the thing to begin with and they agreed to it, that I should have been skeptical, because they seemed more eager than most people. And then later they're saying, no, I don't want to do this. That was like the first few red flags, and then it was that they couldn't, that they were basically like disputing things with the schedule and whatnot, which were valid. And I did change that. I spent an entire day changing the schedule. But the thing is, I guess there was a sense that I've never worked with someone who, and I'm very careful about this. Like if things go over schedule, I'm very careful about that. And I don't try to go over schedule. I never do, unless I gauge that everyone's on board with it. Like there's never a time where I didn't really gauge whether people were like on board with something. I never try to push people into a position that they don't want to be put in. I'm always trying to work with people who are very much on board with all the details. But I don't know what it was. Like I thought we discussed everything, and then suddenly 2 weeks before filming, all of a sudden all these, and this is a word that I've heard before, communication issues came up. And I've heard that before from someone who was a narcissist, who put me through hell. And it really is about, like, I'm going to backstep to blame you. And I mean, I think that's true in this instance, where, I was just calling to see, hey, I want to talk about what happened. I want to clear the air and discuss it. And we did. And I got accused of things, but and I apologized for stuff that I feel like I shouldn't even have apologized for. Like actually after I fired this person, I kind of regret this. I didn't like that I wasted their time. Like, I didn't want to, but I wanted to still work with them, so I actually paid them a little bit for the opportunity, so that they felt good, so we could work together in the future, you know, and that felt unfair to me. Although it's not like they didn't really do anything for the project. I mean, we did 2 rehearsals, but or no, 1 actually. I think that was just me trying to be too nice, I think. But yeah, I've gotten in this position before where, I don't see it, or the red flags are there and I just completely miss them. I don't know if I want to go into the red flags, but because I don't want to be too detailed about this. Just giving a general overview, but there were red flags. This person had commitment issues, and it's kind of interesting. I definitely had a completely different conception of this person. I went in thinking this is the opposite of that kind of type of person, but I found myself on the receiving end in that phone call, just realizing, this is one of those phone calls where this person's not taking any accountability for what they did. And if I wasn't taking accountability, I think, like, I talked about this with at least my girlfriend, and she knows me well enough that she felt like, that's you were in the right here. Although I always like questioning whether I was in the right. I think I think I'm always looking for what could I have done better. And I guess in this instance, I should have been able to spot that this person, I shouldn't have even, I feel like I shouldn't have called them. I probably shouldn't have had that phone call. But I don't regret it, because I feel like I'm the kind of person who, if you wrong me, and this person definitely wronged me. They definitely, because of their carelessness, if I didn't fire them, my life would be in shambles right now. Like, I'm not even over exaggerating that. What we were working on wouldn't have gotten done, and this wouldn't have just affected me, this would have affected other people. And I mean that, like, one person, their life was changed by us being able to accomplish what we did. And I don't hold this person account. Like, I don't hold them, I forgive them for it. But I do want them, I guess I not hold them accountable. I don't think that's the right thing. I think I want them to at least acknowledge what happened. At least on my end, like what it happened to me. And I didn't get that from the phone call. And it's so strange. I guess the point of this video is you're going to deal with people who they do something to wrong you and they don't take accountability. And I think you need to spot that as soon as possible. Pay very close attention to what good things you do for someone and what negative things they do in response. Because there are people who, you do something, you do positive things, you go bend over backwards to change the entire schedule for something 2 weeks before, when you scheduled the thing months in advance based on their availability, and then right after, the day after you do that, and not only have they flaked on a bunch of other commitments or things, they kind of 180'd on stuff, and they showed you who they are before you really find out, and they then make a big deal out of not getting a bedroom, bathroom to themselves, and threaten to quit what you're doing the day after you change the entire schedule for them. That was what happened in my instance, and honestly, I don't give a shit if you see this, because I've kind of decided after this, and I'm not going to name it. If anybody ever asks, I don't plan on working with that person, but it's between me and them. I think that's the only way you can go about this. Maybe there's better ways, and maybe there's better ways than dealing with this on a video call, or video. I just wanted to make a video, and this is the first thing that came to mind right now because this is what I had to deal with. But I guess I'm still looking for what I could have did better, what I've done wrong. But I don't think what I did wrong was anything I was accused of. I was accused of gaslighting the person, which no, I just wanted to talk about what happened. I want to understand it from your side. I think they accuse you that when you are asking them to be, when you're pointing out something they did wrong. And I mean, but I was doing it from the kindness of, I still want to work with you. And what's a tragedy is, I have these amazing things that this person could potentially be a part of, who I was eager to work with in the beginning. And now I'm like, what was I eager to work with? This? I'm not going to work. I don't want to work with this kind of person. If after you did that to me, you to this day will just don't see it. Like, that might be convenient for you for the short term, but in the long term, that means I'm never going to work with you again. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to list out of working with you or talking with you. It's done. And it's really because on that call, I just got to a point where I'm like, oh, that's right. I am. You ever have a phone call where you're like, I am diffusing a bomb right now. I'm keeping this bomb from exploding. The bomb talks. It speaks words. I'm keeping it from exploding right now. My entire goal is to just be polite to this person, be kind, and get off the phone without giving up any critical footing, I guess, without saying or doing anything where they can use that against you in some negative way. I mean, you're not twisting anything. You're being truthful and honest, but it's like, all right, oh, no, if you apologize for things that you think it's right to apologize for, so that you can get out of that situation, and kind of figure out, make them believe that, like, you're operating on their terms, because that's what they want at the end of the day. They want to feel as though they're in control, and you don't give them control, but you give them the feeling that, oh, things are okay. We're cool. Now, if you stop at that point and they try to press beyond the boundary of like I'm not working with you again, I'm not talking to you again, we're kind of done. But I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to be polite here. It's a professional thing. I don't really need to go into that. If you need to go into that, there's times where you have to just be firm and say, look, I'm not working with you. But in this instance, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to ghost them and leave them at the wayside. I don't really see a need to. I'm not going to change this person. 2 failed marriages didn't change this person. Let's just put it that way. It is what it is. I would like people's thoughts on that. I think that there are times where, you need to stand up. I mean, you're not standing up for yourself, but there's times where the only thing you can do when you're dealing with someone who doesn't want to take accountability is try to remove them from your life silently. Pay attention to what they do. You don't have to be unkind and be an asshole. I don't think I was. I was accused of that as soon as I was asking them, discussing with them what happened. And I definitely, I could, if I heard myself talking about it, oh, I'm sure I'm passionate about what happened, but I wasn't being disrespectful. I wasn't trying to be an asshole or anything. But yeah, you have to walk a fine line with this. it is tough when you're dealing with people like this. And I wouldn't want to be a person like this. I hope I never am. I mean, in the past, when I didn't have my shit together, and I still don't. Let's just be real. More so when I wasn't kind of rooted in the proper values. I think I'm at a place now where I feel like anything that I do, positive or negative, it's going that the same thing but tenfold is going to come back to me. I just kind of assume anything I do in life, it's going to come back to me. And the problem is, I hate when I see that in the interactions I have with some people, where like someone who I really would like to work with basically shot themselves in the foot with me. Like I'm pretty easygoing, and it's funny. I was accused of my films being too loose. I think I think the difference is, I would say it's me trying to keep things flexible and low maintenance, because I feel like there's a lot of people who try to keep things professional. They try to overcompensate with professionality to the point where things just don't make any sense, and they don't add to the bottom line. They actually take away from it. I actually find the more relaxed and loose the set or the project is, to some degree, not everything, but I try to keep things. I try to only do things that make sense. And I try not to create a set that feels too professional, in a sense of, oh, you can't touch this. This isn't your job. This is your job. Or you need to, like, there's no attitude. I try not to have any attitude. The only time I might have it is if you do something really wrong. Like that's where I'm like, all right, this is now something I gotta deal with. Otherwise, this strategy has done really well for me, in the sense that the work that I've been able to do with the teams that I work with, I often work with people who have very little to no experience, and they do just as well or better than teams with experience, as long as I know what I'm doing. I just tell them, hey, could we do that or this? And I'm not getting flack from someone about something stupid. I've been able to dodge that because of this. It's funny, I mentioned all this. I'm going to wrap this up, but it's there's times where I ask myself, are these people right? Should I be doing things professionally in those aspects? When I see the things that I should be doing better, I notice them and I address them. But no, it's definitely, I think in this instance, it was definitely a case of I just needed to talk to this person about what was done that really wronged me. It really did. And I got, like, I'm being accused of what they were doing to me. And it's so exhausting. But yeah, when that happens, I would just take a step back, let the person talk about what they need to say. Find parts of what they have to say that you can agree with, and that's what I ended up doing. And I think I gave them the illusion that we're going to work together again, and we're still cool. We worked through some things. Yes, this was kind of a difficult conversation, but from my end, that was exhausting, and I don't plan on working with that person again. Like, luckily I have the luxury in this instance, but I realized that they were easily trying to twist things into, well, all this is your fault. And that's basically what they were doing. And I think I have more self-awareness now, In the past, I would have believed that. I think I'm in a place now. I've dealt with people like this before. I have people who I work with on a regular basis. They don't feel these things about me. And they definitely told me that I shouldn't even work with this person again. They would say I was stupid to even have the phone call. But I like to have, and I'll wrap this up here. I like to give someone another chance after they've wronged me. And I did here, and it just sucks when you see someone shoot themselves in the foot, because I'm no dummy. I know when you're being an asshole. Like, I know when you're being, when you're not taking accountability. You're not going to hide that from me. It's clear to me. It was definitely a place of, there was no accountability when there needed to be. But I like to give you the chance to be accountable. I like to give you one more chance. But it costs me, because it ends up being very exhausting, and then I have to do videos like this to exhaust you guys with the details. But I hope, I don't know if this was even useful, but I like doing videos like this. I want to keep doing videos like this. I know it's helpful for me. I hope that I've made this useful to you, and if you want more, I'm planning on doing these kind of videos like once or twice a week, along with podcasts once or twice a month. Yeah, appreciate you watching. If you like this, like, comment, subscribe. Give me your thoughts on anything I've discussed or anything you've gone through, if any of this relates. I know I'm pretty vague on the details here, because I don't want to go into details too much on this one, but yeah, no, it's definitely dealing with people who they're definitely shooting themselves in the foot, but they're not really taking accountability. They kind of push it onto you. But I love your thoughts. Appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Later.